All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch micro, small and medium enterprises support and outreach program covering 100 districts today. Filing of nominations for second and final phase of Chhattisgarh Assembly elections to end this evening. Notification for Madhya Pradesh Assembly polls to be issued today. BJP's Jammu and Kashmir Unit Secretary Anil Parihar and his brother shot dead by terrorists in Kishtwar district. GST collection crosses 1 lakh crore rupees for second time since launch. And in cricket, Virat Kohli and his team retain top positions in the latest ICC Test rankings. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises or MSME Support and Outreach Program covering 100 districts in New Delhi today. On the occasion, various announcements and deliverables focusing on access to credit, access to market, hand-holding and facilitation support to the sector are likely to be announced. A report.
The MSME Outreach Program will run for 100 days covering 100 districts throughout the country. Central ministers are likely to visit these districts to apprise the entrepreneurs about various facilities being extended to MSME sector by the government and financial institutions. It is expected that the program will help in further boosting the MSME since this sector is one of the major generator of employment opportunities and making a significant contributions to the overall growth of the country's economy. With Diwakar Kumar, Sanjeev Jasotia, AIR News, Delhi.
The filing of nominations for the second and final phase of Chhattisgarh Assembly elections will end this evening. 72 Assembly constituencies will go to polls in this phase on the 20th of this month. The first phase will be held on the 12th. More from our correspondent.
Yesterday, all candidates of Bharatiya Janata Party and Aam Aadmi Party filed their nomination papers. For 72 assembly segments which are going for poll in second phase, Congress has released its fifth and final list of candidates last evening. A scrutiny of nomination papers will take place tomorrow and the last date for withdrawal of nomination papers is November 5. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
Full bench of Election Commission held meetings with various stakeholders at Raipur yesterday to review poll preparedness for 90-seat assembly. Talking to media persons, Chief Election Commissioner O.P. Rawat said that in polls, the Central Armed Police Forces are also being used for confidence-building measures in Maoist-affected areas. Mr. Rawat said,
जो सेंट्रल पैरामिलिट्री फोर्स आता है उसके बारे में भी निर्देश दिए गए कि उनका उपयोग जो है कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग के लिए, एरिया डोमिनेशन के लिए प्रभावी तरीके से किया जाए और सेंट्रल पैरामिलिट्री फोर्स और पोलिंग ड्यूटी में आए लोगों को कैशलेस बेस्ट अवेलेबल हेल्थ फैसिलिटी में इलाज की व्यवस्था रहेगी.
In Madhya Pradesh, nominations for assembly polls will begin today with the issuance of notification. The state will go to polls on 28th of this month. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Both the major political parties, BJP and Congress, may release the first list of its candidates today. As per the Election Commission's guidelines, a separate bank account for election expenses will be opened by each candidate. Candidates are also required to submit Form 26 along with the affidavit furnishing detail about the criminal cases. More than 5 crore voters would be able to exercise their franchise. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
BJP's Jammu and Kashmir Unit Secretary Anil Parihar and his brother were shot dead by terrorists in Kishtwar district last night. Police sources said Anil Parihar and his brother Ajit were returning home from their shop when they were fired upon from close range. They were rushed to a hospital where doctors declared them brought dead. A massive search operation has been launched in the region to nab the gunmen. More from our correspondent.
In the wake of the assassinations, curfew has been imposed in Kishtwar town and its adjoining areas to maintain law and order. Curfew has also been imposed in Bhadrava town of the adjoining Doda district and Section 144 is in force in other sensitive parts of Chenab Valley region. Meanwhile, the situation in Kishtwar and its adjoining areas is tense but under control. Yogesh Sharma, AIR News, Jammu.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh has expressed shock and pain over the killings, saying the police will leave no stone unturned to bring the perpetrators of the crime to justice. BJP President Amit Shah said the attack was a cowardly act that shames humanity. In Assam, suspected Ulfa independence terrorists killed 5 civilians at Jhola in Tinsukia district last evening. Police sources said 3 members of a family were among the 5 killed, while 2 others were injured in the firing. The assailants, who were armed with sophisticated weapons, fled under the cover of darkness after firing indiscriminately. Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal has condemned the incident and instructed police to take stern action against the miscreants. Home Minister Rajnath Singh said strongest possible action will be taken against the perpetrators of the heinous crime. The Lucknow bench of Allahabad High Court has quashed the selection of 12,460 assistant teachers in government primary schools, finding them to have been made in violation of Uttar Pradesh Basic Education Teachers Service Rules 1981. These selections were made in pursuance of an advertisement issued during the regime of former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav on 21st December 2016. The court also directed initiation of fresh proceedings for selection of candidates. It granted 3 months for completing the selection process. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alert. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. Welcome back. Collections from goods and services tax crossed 1 lakh crore rupees mark for the second time since its launch in July last year. The government said that the gross GST revenue collected in October is 1,710 crore rupees. In the previous month, the GST revenue was 94,000 crore rupees. GST revenue had last crossed 1 lakh crore rupees mark in April this year. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said revenue collection under GST has grown because of lower rates, lesser evasion, higher compliance, only one tax, and negligible interference by taxation authorities. India has extended the deadline for the imposition of higher customs duties on 29 US products, including almonds, walnuts, and pulses, by another 45 days till 17th of next month. The Ministry of Finance said this in a notification. In June, India decided to impose retaliatory tariffs from 4th of August, but it was extended by another 45 days till September 18 and then again till 2nd of this month. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, or PMAY, is the housing scheme launched by the central government throughout the country, which aims to provide housing assistance to the needy and backward people. The central government has selected an array of cities and towns where the PMAY scheme will be implemented in the country. Over 20 cities and towns of Karnataka have been selected where housing development is in progress. We have a ground report from our Bengaluru correspondent.
Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is fulfilling the dream of Prime Minister to provide shelter for all by 2022. Koppala district recently constructed 337 houses under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana and allotted them to the slum dwellers. The Assistant Executive Engineer in PWD, Anandappa, shared the details about the benefits of the program.
We have constructed 337 houses under this program. We identified people living in slums for over 10 years and allotting them these houses. Today around 60 houses were distributed where housewarming ceremony are being held.
Sarifa B shares her happiness on being allotted a new house.
Me, my husband and 3 children stayed for over 10 years in a tin house, which leaked during monsoon. It was not in a good shape and all slush entered our house. Now, this new house has given us reason to be happy. Something good has happened to us.
Several beneficiaries have got a well-constructed permanent home as Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana has helped them come out of their misery of staying in Kacha house. R. Murthy, AR News, Bengaluru.
The Law Ministry has notified appointments of 4 High Court judges to the Supreme Court. The SC Collegium, headed by Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi, had on Tuesday recommended the names of Justices Hemant Gupta, Ajay Rastogi, M.R. Shah and R. Subhash Reddy for their elevation as Apex Court judges. The Law Ministry yesterday also notified the appointment of acting Chief Justices in these High Courts. Once the new judges take charge, the strength of the Supreme Court will rise to 28. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has appreciated the Indian community in Botswana for its contribution to Botswana's economy. He also hailed community support to Government of Botswana's socio-economic welfare and charity programs. He was addressing the Indian diaspora in Botswana at a function in Gaborone yesterday evening. On the occasion, Mr. Naidu said,
I would suggest that you should also look at how you can contribute to the existing, exciting growth story unfolding in India today. We have a whole new set of opportunities that are opening up. There cannot be a better time than now to invest in India.
Our correspondent reports that the Vice President urged Indian community in Botswana to take advantage of the emerging business opportunities in India. US President Donald Trump has said illegal immigrants trying to enter the United States will now be apprehended at the border and, unlike the current practice, would no longer be released, announcing a significant change in the current catch and release policy for illegal immigrants. Mr. Trump last night said that they would be released only after a US court pronounces its judgment on their asylum application. If negative, they would be deported to their original country. And in cricket, Virat Kohli and his team retained their top positions in the latest ICC Test rankings published yesterday. India defeated the 8th-ranked West Indies and have 116 points in their kitty, 10 more than second-place South Africa. Kohli with 935 points is 25 clear of currently suspended Steve Smith with 910 points. Cheteshwar Pujara is 6th with 765 points. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Subhadra Ramachandran.
Thank you, Saira. On the deteriorating air quality in Delhi, the Times of India notices, on day one of pollution, curbs rampant violations in city. The Asian Age reports, ministers of 4 states skip meet on Delhi pollution. The Indian Express headlines, unfavourable weather, crop burning and Diwali, capital's air quality to get worse, say experts. The Apex Court warning High Court of taking over and having a centralized exam for recruitment of judges is a story in Hindustan Times. The paper writes, judge recruitments, Supreme Court wraps High Courts. Several newspapers have given front-page coverage to Chandrababu Naidu meeting Rahul Gandhi. The Hindu reports, Congress TDP to forge front against Modi-led BJP government. The Indian Express headline, Eye on 2019, Naidu buries anti-Congress past, meets Rahul, Pawar and Mulayam too. On developments in CBI case, the statesman quotes the agency as saying incriminating material against Asthana, while Hindustan Times reports Central Vigilance Commission tells Verma to be ready for examination corruption probe. The Pioneer reports CBI justifies in Delhi High Court FIR against Asthana. Papers also note the killing of BJP Jammu and Kashmir secretary. The Tribune writes, Kishtwar BJP leader Kin shot. In some other stories, the Business Standard writes, Kolkata is India's most commuter-friendly metro. The Pioneer reports, airlines under CCI lens for alleged nexus to hike airfares. For lovers of Satyajit Ray films, The Hindu carries an exclusive story, Patthar Panchali, on BBC list of best foreign language film. And finally, the once constant celebratory accessory of Diwali, khilone or toys made out of sugar, is now conspicuous by their absence in the festive season. The DNA write, chocolates, not khilones, sweeten festival now. And with that, it's back to you, Saira.
Thanks, Subhadra. In some more news, Indonesian authorities have said that divers have found a piece of landing gear from a crashed Lion Air jet following the discovery of a critical black box that could explain why the brand new plane plummeted into the sea, killing 189 people. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch micro, small and medium enterprises support and outreach program covering 100 districts today. Filing of nominations for second and final phase of Chhattisgarh Assembly elections to end this evening. Notification for Madhya Pradesh Assembly polls to be issued today. BJP's Jammu and Kashmir Unit Secretary Anil Parihar and his brother shot dead by terrorists in Kishtwar district. GST collection crosses 1 lakh crore rupees for second time since launch. And in cricket, Virat Kohli and his team retain top positions in the latest ICC Test rankings. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.nic.in. With that, we end the morning news. Have a great day.